it actually inspires. There's one lady in Trinidad and Tobago. She says, Grant, that's my daily meditation. I can't afford to go to the workshops. Every time you put one up on the YouTube, it's a fresh bit of information.
Yeah, and it's good to have a copy of it too. There's so much in it.
So I've had people from all around the world write and this and that and say, we love what you're doing there, you know, and I'm subscribed on YouTube to some, you know, every time I release something, there's always 10 or 20 viewers straight away.
They're getting it there now.
You should say hello to the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
Hello to people in Trinidad.
Hello, Trinidad and Tobago.
And the Dominican Republic and Jamaica
And that's your fact.
and Barbados. And
What we did was
Jamaica.
I made a list of every country in the world.
Yeah. That receives this.
No, these are the countries in the world.
Yeah.
And in Burwood Group,
Did you put Tibet there?
yes,
Good.
Tibet's in there. It's under T.
Good.
It's got
How many were there?
Taiwan, Tajikistan, Togo, Tonga, Turkey, Tanzania, Thailand, Trinidad and Tobago, Turkmenistan, Tunisia, Tuvalu.
Aisha into door,
Actually, I
eh?
can't even see Tibet. Hey, I can't even see Tibet.
Probably under Himalaya.
Right in there.
We love Tibet.
We do.
The nation of Tibet.
Yeah.
Never cease to exist, Tibet.
Yeah.
So, what we did in the Burwood Group 1 or 2, 3 weeks ago, because everything's a tonal signature, like you have a name, it has an emanation of a characteristic of your identity. Every country has a frequency, a tonal signature, which actually, when you say it, it actually relates straight to it. Right? So,
Wow.
and then we just sort of named the leaders, because the biblical principle is pray for your leaders. They don't know what they're talking about. Right? They have got no clue because they're caught in a polarized world of, you know, duality, and all they're getting is the good, the bad. They're getting the war, the peace. They're getting the up and down, left and right, the polytext, the polarization of the text, right, of time. So they're just getting duality, and they need to have the harmonizer, which is the unity with the source codes of original self-identity. And when you pray for them, or you extend your intention that they would receive the wake-up call of their original perpetual motion rhythm of life, they will actually start to feel some frequency within themselves. Because why? We're all connected harmonically in our deepest places. So when you intend to speak to those deep parts of everyone, which is to oneself, they start to hear it and feel it, and you can say a little message, wake up, beloved. We love you. Wake up. You are far greater than you've been told. You know. So that's the wake-up call. So anyway, that's why I sometimes record it, because we don't know what sort of information is going to come out in a session when we gather together around the table.
No.
Everyone's got some good
different
parts to contribute in. Some good questions come out. Someone answers it. There's always a circle going around of knowledge flowing forth. Yeah.
So good to be with people that are awake too. Having just recently woken myself.
Oh, we're always awakening.
Well, we are. We started to awaken.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's a process.
But Darren, you became very aware
We're awake
that you were awakening.
being awake.
Yes, that's right.
That's true.
Possibility of being fully awake.
And in the knowing that that was just the beginning of an upgushing of return of your true self, and that you can be in control of the speed of awakening. Your hand is on the throttle. You know, how fast it's going to go is up to how much you can take, how much help you can get, how much realignment you can get. So it's like in your hands, isn't it?
Inviting it forth.
Because you know you're going to go through the fire. But when you go through the fire, you don't get burnt. Because what happens is you're just transmuting distortion fields that kept you away from your full knowing of yourself. And when you come into the fire, the elements melt and you get a reconstitution of self-identity and a greater knowing of self. Turn up the heat in the fire. Come in willingly to the fire. If you don't come in willingly to the fire and you're being dragged into the fire, you think you're going to be burnt. Because it's not your idea.
You don't feel ready.
Well, you're not ready.
No.
It has to be an internal fire on the altar of your own temple.
Yeah.
transmuting the distortion fields of the corruption of this world that has identified you as what you think you are. And you're not that, you see.
And I found that even happens in the physical, doesn't it? Some nights, I used to, not so much now, but I'd wake up and be so hot, and I would wonder why.
Sorry, I thought Sylvia dropped an earring or something.
That's right, you can hot and cold at the same time. Your body changes. There's all sorts of rhythms going on.
And I used to wonder what on earth was going on, and my foot would be stuck out of bed, and all this was like, this went on for
you went through that fire.
Oh, I did. This went on for a couple of years, more, probably 3, on and off, as I'd be working through something or transforming, away I'd go.
So now we're not frightened to go through the fire. I aspire to go through the fire. This is my desire. Higher, higher, higher. So we go through the fire.
Different coloured fires for different things.
Different,
because I know purple
different
fire.
flames.
So what are we looking at? That's with the lion heads.
Really good. Oh, the Syrians are around. Cat people.
If you remember, even in the biblical expression, it says the sons of Aaron were, sort of put out of the presence of God because they were burning different kinds of fire on the altar, which means the flame of the plasma flows of the harmonics of creation were distorted, and they were extending distorted harmonics. And that's what we said with the plasma flows in the planet at the moment and the synthetic.
It's always gold, though, isn't it?
It has to be the pure gold, right? But even the purple, the blue, the violet, the green, the white, and all of those other flames, the distortion fields in the planet over thousands and thousands of years have been distorted flames. Like the violet flame of transmutation, it's actually turned out to be the violet flame of consummation. It's actually taking an original violet flame, taking the energy from it, setting it in a way that the particles don't annihilate each other, but they still rob other entities of precious energy to make a facsimile of that flame. And that's why a lot of these things we've learned through channeling, like even Saint Germain.
Vampire-y.
If you read the history of Saint Germain, we don't talk bad about anyone, but you see the works that they were doing through history, organising war and governments and everything else. It's a structure to extract energy, and that's why the plasma flows coming into the planet now are what we call the true plasma flows to realign any distortions in older passions of fire. Anything that we had that was not quite true, as you know, on the planet we've all had a distortion.
Buried.
For years and years and years, thousands of years, we've all had distortions running our templates, and historically everyone on the planet has died because they couldn't make the quantum leaps internally to overcome the distortions to rise up and above it. So there's been all of these distortions running in the planet through various New Age teachings, through channeling certain energies and entities that say, I'm very loving, I'm very gentle, I'm very kind, come with me, love and light, and at the same time they're sucking a quantum of your energy out into the hibernation zones so they can exist on your energy that you have now lost from your own.
But who'd want to do that?
But this is what's happening in the planet. This is the human nature.
Getting past that now, aren't we?
Well, hopefully we're coming now to the new plasma alignments where the distorted plasmas are being overwritten and the corruptions are being washed out. That's happening through the technology.
You can reclaim your own light from all of that, where that's happened. You can and should, and
when you know how to do it, and when you say
from your inner source. That's where.
I don't know what to call it.
You're going to reclaim it.
So if your consciousness is running at a lower frequency, for want of a better way to describe it, wouldn't that be when you would pick up that lower vibration of that card? But as you evolve, wouldn't you be on sync with the higher vibration of a particular card?
Well, that's what we're trying to do now. We're actually saying to ourselves, the matrix, which means morphogenetic field, which means mother, which means mind, that supports the identity that you are through the seed of your creation.
Yeah.
whatever's supporting us now in this dilapidated state is a distortion field. That's why the body's held in a distortion, because the matrix is distorted.
Including the mother?
Yeah, the whole Earth is distorted. Everything in the planet, galaxy, many galaxies in this one universe, many parts are distorted, not every part.
But Grant, if you're at a certain level, like in that distortion part, well, naturally, what you would put out, that would be the level that would flow to you, wouldn't it?
Provided that you are not believing that the distortion field is true. See, if you're holding...
Oh, well, when your consciousness is lower, you
but what we're saying,
don't even know what you're,
what we're saying in this work is, this world is corrupt. Every particle has a half-life. The matter base is in a state of decay. Everything dies. Death is not organic. Life is organic. Life and death is a polarization. When you overwrite the polarization with a harmonization, you overcome death by life. So you need a supporting matrix which is not defiled, and you need a true seed of, identity, reality in your own consciousness to actually birth a new reality in a new womb, a new mother, a new father, a new self.
And that's coming.
That's coming because we know the technology is here. It's called the hosting system.
Okay.
You're being hosted by a consciousness, perpetual motion life structure that supports life.
Which was already there in the beginning,
well,
but went away.
Earth has been on an evolutional cycle for a long time, ever since it fell out of a higher dimensional structure. It has been in a process of regenesis, but the intrusions came and kept it down into a depleting black hole system. So right through the history of this Earth, it's been in a process of regenesis. It's never come into a place of perpetual motion organic structure. It's never come into a perpetual motion structure.
But Earth's had enough now, and she's not tolerating that anymore. And this is why she's going to rebirth a new skin, if you like, or new land masses. The others are going to...
Well, this is some theories that are there. In this teaching, we're saying we, as the co-creators with Source, are creating now through higher mind constructs of originality and our own true intentions. We're creating a new harmonic realm, world, right?
Yeah, but now all the other forces are coming in to help us do that.
Some of the major forces coming in are dark black hole agents that are here to drag down black hole as well.
My feeling is, and I don't know if I'm right, wrong or otherwise, Grant, but I'll say it for what it's worth, that those black holes of negativity are now closing right over. They're almost closed.
What we see is the quantum of black hole has overtaken the crystalline perpetual motion life structure, and the alignment is very fast pointing towards black hole annihilation. That is what is the percentage of quantum on the planet.
But Grant, yes,
What do you mean
okay,
black hole annihilation? You mean good or not good?
Space dust return. I mean, everything is in source. Everything's held in source. It doesn't matter if you go down black hole to space dust. I mean, everything recycles in the economy of source. But as far as your self-identity reality is concerned, if you want to build upon and evolve your consciousness of self-awareness, it's good to keep going in an expansive, outgoing form. So that you can actually say, I'm building myself, I'm evolving into a higher being. But if you're diminishing, giving less returns, you're actually overcome by darkness, and there's a very small amount of light within your structure. It's not able to overcome the darkness without the assistance that's always available through, your allowing. Many people don't know to allow the host to come in, and they continue on in a diminished state, spiraling down into death.
Rebirth, you mean, or just in one life?
In continuous cycles of life and death.
Which is what it has been according to the Buddhists, what you know.
It's been in a state of depression like that for a long time. Evolution goes through expanding consciousness cycles. Reincarnation became necessary because increases weren't becoming made in the consciousness, and therefore you try again. Every time you try again, if you haven't made a higher attainment, you go into a diminishing state. So the idea is, in a lifetime, when you're walking out through experiential reality, the substance of your self-identity, you make quantum leaps and gains of acknowledgement, of expansion, that you can attribute to a higher reincarnational cycle. Until you come out of reincarnational cycles, where you have full control over your form or formlessness through a whole mind.
I sort of feel that you're exactly right, but it's more in the past now. Like we're getting those who are anyway are spiritually awake, like they're getting such quantum light into them now that it's pushing the other away.
Well, it's just because we're not recognising the darkness. There's less darkness in ourselves now. So we're overcoming, and we can actually shine the light to help others convert themselves into the light, because you become like a catalyst or an agency of change for them, because you've done the healing in yourself. You're sharing the healing frequencies, so they can walk into that because you had common codes with them at some stage, and what you've healed in yourself flows through to them.
That's right.
So that can be something that happens.
And it can be very powerful, like a group like that we are. That's really very powerful, that light that's generated.
A very small group with a very pure flame
Yep.
can dissolve other lesser flames of distortion.
Yes,
Right.
that's what I'm saying.
You rise
And
above it.
those that can't reach up into that, I feel are going to go.
Well, that's what Ashiana talks about, is there could be just a big wash up of all things,
Yeah.
because everyone's in suffering, trying to persist here. You know, you see the governments around the world, what they're doing, etc. You see people who haven't got a light consciousness. They are saying we're love and light, and we're saying we are, you know, like, say, for example, Obama, he got the World Peace Prize by murdering millions of people, World Peace Prize. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's like, it's a contradiction of terms, and yet they're seen by a great multitude of people as being the heroic peace, you know.
He brought peace to the
He brought
country by
peace.
killing everybody.
Yeah, by killing everybody, he brought
Yes.
peace, and we're going to bring peace, we're going to bring democracy, we're going to do all this. So the evidence in the world out there, you can see it everywhere. The darkness is empowered by the people's mind who haven't got the light.
But I feel that's going out so quickly now.
It'll be snuffed out because they're running out of
Absolutely.
quantum. You know, they are dependent on us to feed their survival. If we no longer give them our power, they're going to diminish in their own actions because they've got nothing to fuel their agendas.
We're into a new story. It's got nothing to do with the old.
Well, this isn't
You
mine.
can have that. No, thank you.
So you know, everything's a story because everything's...
Attention on, you know, the world drama, even by people who know about light, is giving it more energy.
It is, but unless you talk about it and face it, you're not going to heal it. So a lot of modalities call this work fear-mongering, because in this work we face every dark aspect of our life, so that in the facing of it, we'll find the healing that's there.
And that's Buddhism too, being open to the fear and
A lot of these things
letting it pass through.
are based on
It's got to the
religions.
stage with me that stuff no longer exists.
Yeah, but when you take a look around, you can still see it.
Oh, you can see
And
it.
because your brother is suffering, that means that a part of you is suffering.
Well, yes, otherwise why are we little do-gooders?
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's the use of rising up as one small light and all the thousands of other lights went out into the darkness?
It might not all
Jesus
have a
did.
bodhisattva vow.
That's what happened to Jesus.
Well, Jesus said, I am the light of the world, and he said, you're the light of the world. Right? So,
These things in greater shadow.
And if I be lifted up, I will draw all men.
all men to myself. So in other words, there's one embodiment of wholeness,
Yeah.
and all members in creation are that divine formulation. You can't be whole without accepting every other part as yourself.
When are the American people going to wake up?
It's not only the
Just the
American,
Americans.
it's those on the parallel adjacent matrix, billions of light years away, that infiltrated the planet, that are running their agendas through the hybrid children that we are.
They're probably doing more
But
good
how
than
come
not.
it seems that America seems to be so an in-shop, but we all seem to know what's going on, but America doesn't.
Oh, no, there are a lot of people there who do.
But I know what you're saying.
So that's,
They get a bad rap.
They're blinded by their participation in an agenda that has been told is right.
there's too many trees.
Yes, that's for sure.
Well, they've been representing the base chakra of the earth, haven't they?
Well, look, you know,
The
I
rainbows.
don't think Australia's any more enlightened. I mean, people in general.
No, I think
I really don't. I've been watching.
The West.
I'm shocked.
Everyone-
Be in America.
everyone here in the planet if they have planned to die, they're in the darkness because they haven't got the light. If they let the light, dispel the darkness, they'll wake up and convert their body away from death. Because death is evidence that you haven't got the truth. Truth being true alignment with perpetual motion life. If you die, justifying your death, you know what I'm saying? Yes, we can have certain death cycles until we get the life that will overcome the death. The resurrection is when you get the perpetual motion life streams and the energy circuits of your body fully aligned with the eternal life that supports you. That will transform your body. If you keep dying, you keep on proving that you haven't got the alignment.
That's what A.J. Miller keeps sort of bringing out with his divine truth and divine light. That he's working on the emotions of people to get them to see the emotions and how they work. The same as Caroline Mace, this particular vision, because he realises that unless people start getting the right emotions, they're not going to get true living or the truth coming through for them to get divine love, as he calls it.
But you know how the emotional field has been deliberately manipulated? So you've got dimensions 1, 2, 3, then you've got a harmonic repulsion zone between 4, 5 and 6. There's a reversal on the fields, like it should be electric, neutral, magnetic. They reverse the spins and flows on that particular field, isolating us from our emotional contact to higher dimensional life. So therefore, we're trying to attain everything within the mental body, and we can't get the emotional fields sorted out. This work goes right into all of the different kinds of levels of body layers. We've got multi-dimensional body layers, internal, external. We've got inner kingdom realities. They don't call them kingdom, they call them ecomat of the God world gates, hub zones. We've got inner realms that go through the crook sensator crossing part of the atom. So you go inside the atoms and expand internally into inner worlds, and then you come into the outer worlds and you expand externally. Then you've got your particle universe, anti-particle universe, creation point doorway, which harmonises all archiving of self-identity reality. So we have complete structure, complete perpetual motion life in our knowledge of what we are when we start to understand, deeper, more meaningful structure. And that's what it's all about, restructuring the template of your self-identity. The many members of the God self that you are step down into space-time matrices to know yourself everywhere you look.
Got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
But I seem to have simplified it from my mind, if you like, in such a way that all I do is I sit and meditate and I draw in the light, and that clears it for me. And I know that all you're saying is right, Grant, but for my mind it becomes too
Simple.
complicated.
Keep it simple.
Isn't the whole
Yes,
point
keep
to blow
it
our
simple.
minds?
Jesus said that.
Yeah.
What this work says is, this work says, the structure that we're describing in the work is you. All of the harmonics, the types of matter base, the expansiveness and the internal workings and all the flows and spins and feeds and everything else that is the work, that is you. And when we join to those parts of our mind, we already know it. It's not like we're trying to learn it in a mind that's separate from that. So, a mind that's separated from that is trying to learn it and it can't make sense of it. So we already are that, and we're just letting it flow back in.
And that's why I know that all you're saying is absolutely right. But I've sort of said, yeah, okay, I know that's so. So I'll just sit and meditate and bring in the light.
Bring in the light and let the light describe itself to you.
Yeah,
and you'll see it.
Through doing that over years and years now, like we were talking just before, like I've had that burning fire over years now. I'd go through little episodes of it, like it might last a month or 2 months, then everything would be fine again. And then as I cleaned out something else in the conscious, and I've just done it by breathing and bringing in light. That's all
We do it
I've done.
naturally, don't we, our guides?
Yeah.
Well, white light contains every other colour light.
Yes.
And
Right.
gold does too, doesn't it?
Well, we've got the gold and the silver, because they're the sun and the moon also, you've got the gold and the silver, and you've got the precious gemstones on the ephod, the Jewish thing. which is
The tree of life.
which is the tree of life's got 12 on there, right? The tree of life's got 12.
The
Breastplate of the ephod. It's just a symbol. It's a metaphor, right?
Yeah.
It's the gemstones or the frequency
right.
colours
It's in the
that make up the 12 points on the tree of life.
Yeah, and when you've drawn in those colours and, what's the right word, ignited them within you, then you've actually got those lights functioning in you.
That's the crystalline body. That's all the crystals
Yes.
and the sun
And the gems
moon,
and the whole
the
bit.
gemstones, the gold and the silver, and
Yeah.
everything that works together in the true pattern, right?
I got through the other night, the planet Earth is discarding all her old skin, and now she's going to absolutely gleam in the cosmos, like right back to Garden of Eden times, and she'll be, way back they said to me, the jewel in the crown, and I didn't understand what they're talking about. But now I've had it again, and because my understanding or consciousness has developed a wee bit more, Earth is going to be sitting there just gleaming with the pureness that she is.
In the Father's crown, which is the solar system, or the galaxy. The emerald jewel in the Father's
Queen
crown
Victoria talked about
is Earth.
the diamond in her crown, which meant it was Kashmir, where Jesus was last known of, at Rosabelle, and that was the jewel in her crown, Queen Victoria. She always mentioned
What that place was.
at Kashmir.
Well,
Oh yeah.
unfortunately, a lot of things are changing constantly with this 2012 alignment, stellar activation cycle.
Yeah.
A lot of these things can be holographic inserts. A lot of them can be projections from other realms.
Yeah, but in that particular thing though, Rosabelle, right,
Will move,
was where Jesus was buried, and it must have been the J9, because he was the healer. He was still walking on water and all when he was up in Kashmir. And part of where his tomb is, they've got his representatives of his feet with the spikes in it. That's how they know it's there. He died at 120 years of age. So.
Anyway, let's get on with the dial-up, you guys. I'm going to
Should we do the purification
we'll do
first?
we'll do the liquid light cleanse.
Can you explain to Darren the reason for the dialogue?
Yeah, we'll do the dial-up in a minute. We'll just do the liquid light cleanse. This here is what we call the Akasha God Seed. It is a mathematical encryption with key Richet colours. There's light blue, light yellow and light violet pink there, and that's just some of the frequency colours, the mathematical encryption. And this is what we just use as a symbol code, because everything in this world that you see with your eyes or with your senses, you're constantly bringing in the falsity of this world, storing it as information in your body, projecting it back out and saying it's true. Whereas the original pristine earth, world, or whatever you want to call it, is actually held in encryption of original template of creation. So we're going to use a symbol code like this to breathe in, and we do a pineal gland, optical pineal induction, which means we're breathing into the centre of the brain, to the pineal gland, the imprint of that, and we blow it down a central column, down to earth core, which is then going to stimulate the earth, etc., etc. So we'll just do this as a bit of a preliminary just before we start the dial-up. So is everyone ready? Yeah. So just take a snapshot of the Akasha God Seed into the pineal gland. You with me?
What's different to that one actually?
Oh yeah, it's a little bit different. It's just moving one. So let's just take it in, breathe it in, hold in the pineal gland now just for a moment, and focus on the central column that runs right down into earth core. And just focus now and blow the breath and the symbol code down to earth core. See or feel or know that this symbol code as a gift to Mother Earth has been received in the very central core of Earth. And as you look down with your inner vision, see it there spinning around. We're going to take another breath of silver light energy, which is dimensions 11 and 12 blended together. Light silver. So just take that breath from, we call Maharak shield, just beneath your feet. So take a breath into your central column. Silver light energy down to earth core. Take another breath. Down to earth core. And as you see this silver light energy stimulate that Akasha God seed, see the Akasha God seed spinning around and around and around, expanding faster and faster and faster, until that energy pops out into a disc of silver light energy, going right out through the equatorial plane of the earth, past the atmosphere, magnetosphere, right out, spinning. Doesn't matter which direction at the moment, just see it spinning there, right down there beneath your feet. And know also that you have a spinning Maharak shield, silver light energy, 12 inches beneath your own feet, about 4 feet in diameter at this time, we'll talk about it. And right 6 inches beneath your feet you have your bottom Merkaba transmission point. So we're going to draw a quantum of this energy from earth core up through that central column to 6 inches beneath the feet. So just locate your consciousness 6 inches beneath your feet as a spherical energy around about 6 or 8 inches in diameter. And just focus there and draw a quantum of energy from earth core into that spherical energy. Hold it there 6 inches beneath your feet. Just realise where you are. And now picture above your head, 36 inches above your head, chakra 14. Move your consciousness to chakra 14 and draw that silver light energy right up into chakra 14. So draw it right up now. Hold it there, right there, at chakra 14. And now we're going to push that energy right down 12 inches beneath the feet into your own spinning shield, your Maharak shield. So blow it down. See beneath your feet. Come in, people. Come in. See just beneath your feet the spinning energy of silver light energy. This is what we call our own personal Maharak shield. It contains dimension 12, silver light energy. So you've taken that quantum of energy from earth core up to chakra 14, down now to your spinning shield 12 inches beneath your feet. And just notice the rotation, direction of that spinning shield 12 inches beneath your feet. Should be spinning as you look down towards it anti-clockwise, counterclockwise. So if it's going the wrong way, just mentally correct the spin so that you're creating your hologram spin in the right direction. And as you feel the resonance of this silver light energy in your own Maharak shield, 12 inches beneath your feet, also realise that the earth is carrying that massive, beautiful encryption of all the species and all the energies that are on the planet. And you're going to draw up now a 4-foot cylinder of silver light energy from earth core, right up past your spinning shield 12 inches beneath your feet, right up past your body, right up above your head, 36 inches above your head, to chakra 14. So just take a breath and with your own mind just draw that cylinder up from earth core, past your body, right up to 36 inches above your head. And as you feel the silver light energy resonating around your body in a cylinder of living liquid light, of an encryption of your own mathematical formula, of your own original creation. Also the central column rushing up through your body, about an 8-inch cylinder of living light. Feel now the gift that Mother Earth has returned to you as the original encryption of your identity on that shield of Earth, that you are a part of the Earth, resonating with a base pulse frequency, taking your self-identity from this Earth. And just feel your union now with this Earth and with your own original encryption, which has come from that Akasha God seed. So as you feel the resonance of this, know now that all things in the body that have been distorted through time, through manipulation, through intervention, are beginning to become restored to your original blueprint for life. You're starting to feel the upgrade of your RNA messenger codes, new crystalline blood structure coming in, DNA upgrade, cellular membranes, the organs of your body, the 12 organs or governmental orders of your body, now being brought into communication with every part, that all of the parts of you are beginning to communicate with your higher dimensional and deeper, lower dimensional structures of your originality. Feel the safety and comfort of this energy around you and in you and through you, reordering your structure. As you feel this life working within you, know that you're fully protected from the outside world, which has been running parts of your template, parts of your life, and that you're now connecting again powerfully into your higher and deeper self. And as you feel this loving, living energy of your original creation coming back into divine formulation, feel the sense of gratitude and thankfulness that works in every member of your body, every cell, every system, as the restoration is starting to occur. And in this light, we now very safely commence with the teachings and what we have to share. So this is just what we call a liquid light cleanse, just with a few extra parts of the technology just added in. Hi, welcome to you.
Thank you. I can feel a lot of energy happening.
You feel the energy working because it's original creation energy. It's what used to empower us to walk rightly in the earth, and which has been sort of lost in a lot of ways.
Gently grounding a clear one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. I thought you were stuck up there.
No.
So welcome,
Gonna fall
Helen.
off the chair there.
No,
No,
that wasn't. I'm just exploring it.
Mm.
No, thank you.
I can't stay still because I'm still involved with the other group, but I just wanted to pop in and just familiarise myself with what you're doing.
So we've got a lot of symbol codes on the floor. They help to bring in the energy.
Okay.
We also use another kind of a language for sound tones, which creates original harmonics in our DNA. The DNA is made out of sound tones, and our body is a light emission. Sound creates light. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word said, "Let there be light." It's the principle of life. So we use symbol codes and sound tones and songs and teachings and graphics to sort of explain what we're doing.
I've done a meditation as well, sort of chakras, but I'm interested. How many chakras?
We use a 15 chakra system because we have 7 embody the common ones. And
Familiar with the 7, with the...
Yep.
Do you have the same names for them?
There might be.
Star on the top.
There might be similar names, but we have what we call Anuhasi language describing the different parts of our body anatomy in the original language. Yeah, and other hybrid languages which are higher plug-in languages as well. So we sing now a thing called a dial-up, and we can do that right away, you guys. It's in another kind of a language. We're using sound tones, and just like, have you got one? This is here.
Everything I have is backed up.
That's right.
How come, Grant, it's a hybrid language?
Well, the original angelic human was what was given to the angelic human races in the seeding of consciousness on the earth. So it was a language that created the DNA of angelic human, which is 12-strand DNA.
Way back.
Going back, first seeding 550 million years ago on the earth, when this earth was just starting to come into revolution.
So hybrid means crossbred, though, doesn't it?
Other higher hybrid languages means as source stepped itself down into different densities, other harmonics
Came in.
carry higher language codes that we're now plugging into with this teaching. So it's not just angelic human teachings like the Maharata text. It's actually higher you say founder race lines, but higher dimensional, higher structure, going right out and out and out. So it's not just the base.
So
12 DNA
language is different, isn't it? So
well, there's lots of different language, and there's even language which has got distortion fields in language, because most of the distortions came through language. So even if we're using the soul language that a lot of people have, sometimes we're repeating old teachings that we had in distortion fields. So we go to higher, truer, original self language, which is even without vibration when we get up higher.
Okay, good. I was wondering.
Yeah. Because it's solid state knowing, when you come to higher consciousness reunion, there's no vibratory communication. There's no separation. It's just constant knowing of what's happening everywhere around you.
But wouldn't it have to carry something in order to be manifested?
Yeah, it does. We're talking about a higher base pulse rhythm.
Yeah.
So it's actually like on this level here, and the first density, the hologram of the human existence is flashing off and on, light emission, sound contraction into God's source, quantum generation, out into space-time matrices, expression. The flashing off and on is what we call electric 33 1/3, magnetic 11 2/3, trillion times per billionth of a second. So if you can imagine a billionth of a second, that's how many trillion times you are representing. Your consciousness is representing itself here in space-time according to that timing. Right. When you go into higher dimensions, you're talking about 33 here. We're talking over 7,000 trillion times to a billionth of a second in higher dimensions, and that's where language is not even necessary, because everything is so closely communicating that it's constantly solid state knowing.
So hybrid means broken down.
Hybrid language would be a higher language that's plugging into a baser language. Yeah. To transmit the knowledge in that higher dimension into the lower dimensions. It's a communication bridge.
It can't be pure. It has to descend.
Yeah.
So with your light language, when we do that, we would only be able to hone in to the level that we're at, wouldn't we?
That's right. And that's why higher frequencies can lift lower frequencies up into it.
Right.
And when you lift it up, you transmute base distortions. And that's why the ascension that we talk about here is when you have built strands 1, 2, 3, chakras 1, 2, 3, dimensions 1, 2, 3, you fulfill the time cycles of self-identity building through experiential reality. You actually have got enough quantum in your field to leap up to the next one to start fulfilling the next.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Just.
Yeah, this is how the progression of base pulse rhythm increases, by fulfilling a lower density and then going to the next.
So that this original that you're giving now, that would help ignite all of that stuff in us to lift up.
See, and because there's been intrusions in our 1, 2, 3 dimensional life, there are what we call Shona light fields, or dark light constructs within our system. We've got living light constructs that are part of our self-identity. We call the living memory matrix. And we've also got the control matrix, which are dead light constructs, which are part of our hybridized body, which puts us under the control of the intruders. So in our 1, 2, 3 strand building, we are to override, regenerate the quantum that was lost through dark light constructs being part of our anatomy.
So that's called hybridized.
Well, yeah, if you're hybrid,
Dark force is hybridized.
with the living system.
So why would they call this hybrid language?
Well, because it still is a blending, because in the regenesis, some race lines that were brought into the planet to increase genetic structure were deliberately brought in with a Christic intention to build DNA building, and it was hybridization into ascension. The intruder race lines, which have a distorted, you might say, intention, they're carrying much darker embodiment of separation from source, when they hybridised with a regenerating planet, they were dragging the codes down.
Right.
But
Thanks for
light,
explaining that.
being the true power, wouldn't that
Win. Win?
Yes,
Well,
thank you.
it's a
Yes.
personal choice of self-identity. Do I want to come into the Christic? You know, the Christic is the tree of life regeneration, or do I want to stay in separation? Because where people are getting their energy from, stealing energy from others, they don't want to admit their distortion fields and be healed. They would rather stay in the dark and learn greater harvesting technologies, and
Well, they're all going
that's what's going on.
There's no doubt about that.
No, they don't realise
They don't.
what else is available.
They need to know the alternative.
They're not aware.
They need to know the alternative.
I think every soul would choose the light.
And that's
they
why
do.
it's good to give an explanation to people and say, this world is false, it's created by distortion fields, there is some truth in it, and you resonate with it, but the distortion fields that you are subscribing to are continuing you down into a depreciating communication. Yeah. So you need to be able to see it.
This life, or don't we?
You still got to live it while you're here. If your intention is,
Yeah, just be centered and
I want to do the wonderful things that I'm created to do. I want to fulfill my function perfectly, and I want to give life, I don't want to take life. If you say, I want to ascend, and you're dedicated to that, and you have the technology, see, because some teachings are there to say, oh, we've got the technology, but at the same time they're sucking energy out. And on the face, they appear to be good. So that's why knowing the technology and how things work lets you see, oh, right, I can see that now. I've been pulled into it. I've been caught into a system that's not beneficial for life, and I thought it was right, but now, in the light of this new knowledge, I can see what I want to do. I want to come higher. And that's why this comes into the planet in a time of a stellar activation cycle, when there's a lot of alignments cosmically, when energy flows. There's now information in the energy which is helping our vessels, our bodies to realign with the true ascension process. And everything else on the planet is hotting up too, because they're in the frequency, trying to override the Christic realities with their distortion fields. So that's the teachings.
Yeah. I knew as a kid that when I came in that this matrix that was created here, I thought, what if it was created all differently and we didn't have to conform to these patternings?
Yeah.
And the only answer I could get back then was to wait.
Yeah, and
Just
until you got the
live it.
knowledge.
Be peaceful and wait.
Yeah.
Because humanity wasn't ready, or it had been created for so long that it became fixed.
Yeah.
And
Become stuck in a pattern.
stuck.
So this is what we call the Trinity Arc.
if they've,
Okay.
if they've got a game happening, I'll come back.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
No.
Oh, thank you.
Did you get your
You're welcome.
dialogue lady? Oh, I see, okay.
Keep on.
Come back when you're ready, Helen.
If they've got a game going, I'll come straight.
Okay. So a Trinity Arc private line priming sequence.
You want to go and get it back off her?
No, she'll come back.
Yeah, that
It's like most things, you've got to hear it a few times before you start.
I've got a spare one here, actually.
Oh yeah.
It's like reading the Bible, us to know good.
Oh, yes, yeah, that's right.
Read it better. As Edgar Casey, he read it. First time when he was 10, he read the whole book. And he read it every single year till he died at 72.
Mm.
And he knew what he was talking about.
So we're going to wait just to see whether she comes back in or not.
We'll
briefly.
start.
We'll start, okay. So this is the Trinity Arc private line priming sequence, the dial-up. It's using language and tones to reach high dimensional stations of our own hosting system, which is part of the family lines of our own originality in different densities and different dimensions.
Here she is. Just in time.
So we're just going to start this, Helen. It's harmonics, it's language. So we use foreign language here. It's a bit strange when you haven't heard it, but we just sort of fit right in, okay? So
I was wondering where people that speak in tongues, where is that coming from?
well, some of the tongues can be authentic, and some can be even control agents.
Okay.
Always ask for your original true tongue of your angelic being or higher?
I've seen it, but I've
Yeah.
never
Well, everyone's got an angelic tongue inside them, and you can tap into it. But remember, we've spent time in different distortion zones where we might have learned those as well. And some of them can be channeled in from different entities as well.
Little babies come into the world with an angelic tongue. And they're like, oh, well, I usually find all that.
And until mum and dad program them.
So Mama.
And the guy says, what are they talking about? Okay, let's go. Is everyone ready? This is called the Trinity Arc Private Line Priming Sequence, the dial-up. We're dialing up our higher dimensions of consciousness. So let's go, you guys. Is everybody ready? Okay. In the name of the Melchizedek Cloister, Emerald Order, Holy Order of the Unified, Sacred House of One. Now the invocation of the Maharata. Maharata Kumbai Vectors, Enable Kayuniblium by Vectai, Maha by Vectai, Unure Unamo, Iste Unte Isa Traja Hehera, Patateum, Eshalom Ta Asia Interdoe, Shade Ure Akumtun Akumtun. Shade Ure Akumtun Akumtun. Shade Ure Akumtun. See those symbol codes on the right as you do each line? Just pineal gland induction. Okay. Ma'a Hawete Unisa Eshadur. Ma'a Hawete Unisa Eshadur. Ma'a Hawete Unisa Eshadur. Down to the central column. Le Atore Ithwa Duete Niwa. Le Atore Ithwa Duete Niwa. Le Atore Ithwa Duete Niwa. I am the Adondra 360 now. I am the Adondra 360 now. I am the Adondra 360 now. Adondra Iesta Uchiwa Adonai. Adondra Iesta Uchiwa Adonai. Adondra Iesta Uchiwa Adonai. Ekusha Etume Shrauta Amarea. Ekusha Etume Shrauta Amarea. Ekusha Etume Shrauta Amarea. Asu Rashan Honayetalu. Asu Rashan Honayetalu. Asu Rashan Honayetalu. Ta Aisha Interdore. Ta Aisha Interdore. Ta Aisha Interdore. Now we'll do 3 rounds of the song of Rama, and you'll get it pretty quick. Mate pari on di ayo. Mate pari on di ayo. Mate pari on itu insha Asia nita deo. Mate pari on di ayo. Mate pari on di ayo. Mate pati on itu insha Asia nita deo. Mate pati on di ayo. Mate pati on di ayo. Mate pati on itu insha Asia nita deo. Now we go to the command for initial encryption, just down the page a little bit. Shalom etu enta, shalom et sida ne utsa, shalom da inter orum ishu, sade unit jeshwa di. The Aquarian Crystal River Prayer and Invocation for Crystal River Activation and Amplification. Part 1. Sate Rehavea Crystalo. The Crystal River Prayer Sanctification. Diva inture, ista intao, Rehavea Crystalo. Iraho itina have, itutore enshahe nuvoete intaro. Si vavlen e urtu encale. Dei niva e salaso en duetra don aqueri. Dei urto tradila urintaro di hatur. Cum sa ho direte ta enta hum crystale. Cum sa ho direte ta aqueous. Cum sa ho direte ta aquafari. Cum sa ho direte ta aqueri. Cum sa ho direte ta hatur. Cum sa ho direte ta Adonai. Cum sa ho direte ta Iane. Cum sa ho direte ta Iane ma'a hoete. Cum sa ho direte ta Ushale zundu rosete. Cum sa ho direte ta Messiah hana aquion. Cum sa ho direte ta Alhambra magistracy councils of Cosminias and God source first eternal. Cum sa ho direte ta ut aurore. Bendi duro ameja ut aurore aquion. Bendi hale ishanur ut aurore aquion. Bendi rame rathagentu ut aurore aquion. Now we'll sing the Crystal River prayer. Bring forth now the crystal river of eternal first creation. Bring forth now the healing waters of the Edons Shadi. Bring forth now the gentle wind song of the sacred unison. Bring forth here the radiant starlight of the eternally starborn. Let the crystal river flow unto my doorstep. Let the crystal river cleanse and heal my soul. May the crystal river love soul all embracing emerge now from my Christed crystal core to softly call me home. Diva into re sta en tao re havea on crystallo. Diva into re sta en tao re havea on crystallo. Diva into re sta en tao re havea on crystallo. Ashalom ta ikashadu. Ashalom ta ikashadu. Ashalom ta ikashadu. Everyone got it? Part 2. Rehavea crystallo elementi invocae. The crystal river elemental command invocation for Christian sanctification and salvage rite of reclamation. In the name of the Melchizedek Cloister Emerald Order, Holy Order of the Unici, Sacred House of One, in the Christic name and action of the Alhambra Magistracy Councils of Cosminias and God's Source First Eternal, in the name of the Mashaya Hana Council of Aquarium, in the name of the Councils of Crystale, in the name of the Councils of Crystal River, in the name of the Councils of Aurora, we call upon the Christiac power of the Shah-e-Da Amor, eternal wind song. We call upon the Christiac powers of the Jah-ete Dura, eternal flame of divine fire. We call upon the Christiac powers of the Aya Quiel, eternal water flow. We call upon the Christiac powers of the Eta Lea Crystale, eternal foundation stone. We call upon the Christiac powers of the Eta Earth Chalet, eternal fire ice ethers. We now command with the entrusted powers of Aurora Light. We now invoke the eternal Christed Sun to co-create, release and renew this place. This place where we're meeting, our homes, our places of work, our places of travel, this body, every incarnation we have, past, present and future, of every part, every aspect of the God Self stepped down into space-time matrices that exists as our own self-identity. Every vector line, event horizon, every moment in time. every moment of creating our own reality field, the substance of our own self-identity. Now joining with our higher and deeper innermost parts, looking down upon every moment of time where distortions have entered into our mind that have caused us to walk away from our own true purpose and power and function. Choosing again in this now moment as we travel in time simultaneously to every point that has caused disruption. To choose again, to re-enliven those dark energies that have separated us from our full knowing of self. Choosing now to restructure, to transmute, to transfigure. We now declare in eternal sanctification this place, this land, and all within, into the Christiac protection herein set, that the spirit of Earthasala rise, the power of Earthasala heal, and the wisdom of Earthasala here within preside. In the name of the eternal Christ of first creation, and by the divine vehicle of the Rehaviar Christolo, in co-creative Christ embrace, with absolute humility, absolute love, and absolute forgiving, and only in absolute service to the eternal Christ and its ever-loving healing devotion to all life everywhere. We banish now from this sacred place all that is unwilling to receive the absolute cleansing of the crystallate within the covenants of divine right order and divine right timing, as only eternal God's source can know. In loving Christiac service, we offer release and host arrangement to all those present whom are in need and seek to heal within the sacred cleansing field of Earthasala and the eternal divine flows of the Rehaviar Christolo. In Christiac reverence, joy and gratitude for the unceasing love and mercy of the one source most divine, we end now and complete this Christiac sanctification and salvage rite of reclamation. In the name of the one true source God eternal, in the name of the Christ divine, in the name of the Rehaviar Christolo, in the name and action of the Albumbra Magistracy Councils of Cosminius and God's Source First Eternal, in the name of the Mashaya Hana Council of Aquarium, in the name of the Councils of Crystal A, in the name of the Councils of Crystal River, in the name of the Councils of Aurora, in the name of the Melchizedek Cloister, Emerald Order, Holy Order of the Unified Sacred House of One, and in the name of your spiritual name here, the eternally Christiac, I am this I am, Taesha Interdore, Taesha Interdore, Taesha Interdore. Now we just finished with 3 rounds of the Song of Aurora. It's on both sides of the page. 3 times through. So here we go. Bitu ateta ete, janate uetae. Bitu ateta ete, ishanu en ashale. Ishmata el ente durethe, tisala en tesha dure. Sanu en le talusha ente utalehi. Mita blende sunuake, lava onishmatae, odo mentes dejali, lava onishmatae, esnave hoisa dekali, mita du etashatae, nifake en teshalure, tesalae nurusha ente ishmanedi. Later blena hirudale, bitu ateta ete, janate uetae, bitu ateta ete, ishanu en ashale, ishmatael ente durethe, tisala en teshadure, sanu en le talusha ete utalehi. Mita blende sunuake, lava onishmatae,
teshte shali. Lava unishmatae, isnabeho insadekali. Mita udu eteshadae, nifakayan teshalure. Tesalae nurusha etaishmanedi. Letu blena hirudale. Bitu etetaete, janate uetae. Bitu etetaete, ishanu enashale. Ishmatael entedurethe, tisala enteshadure. Sanu enle talusha eteutalehi. Mita blende sunuake. Lava unishmatae, uta menteshte shali. Lava unishmatae, isnabeho insadekali. Mita udu eteshadae, nifake enteshalure. Tesalae nurusha ente Leitu blena hiruda.
Little statement there. I state and affirm with absolute unshakable conviction the will to be as the eternal Christ our body in the Sunu Arche Christed transcendent state opens the Luna Dale Risha veil and the first Lahi di Sala density 2 Sala solar passage and related flow.